Welcome back, Vagabonds. This isn't your atypical video on travel. Today we will explore the dark side of Nuremberg. So come along on a journey through Nuremberg's past, where we uncover some pretty intense stories. We'll first check out the Nuremberg trials, where important decisions were made after World War II. Walking where history happened, we'll see why these trials were a big deal. Next, we'll go to locations where Hitler and the Nazi Party had large gatherings. The buildings here are a little spooky, and they're reminders of a time when things got really bad. We'll think about why Nuremberg's history is important and remember the folks who worked for justice. Justice isn't only for the past, but for the present, so it is important to look at the ugly past in order to not repeat it.
All right, I hope you enjoyed being up at the castle yesterday. Today I am exploring the darker side of Nuremberg. Going to be checking out where the Nuremberg trials were and going through some of the old Nazi history museum stuff. So it is a beautiful day here in Nuremberg. Got a nice snow going on. So we will have this nice cold weather to join us on this dark history. All right, so that was pretty bone chilling inside there. Hopefully it hasn't turned you all off to the rest of this video, but there's a interesting dynamic that learning about history, not repeating it, and seeking justice through whatever crimes that might have been occurred, to make sure that there is justice and that we will continue to follow that path and not fall into the traps of these evil ways of exterminating the Jews and genocide of any people, including ones in Africa, Asia, and all over the world. So it's an interesting place. If you don't know much about the history, I definitely suggest checking it out. Come here to check out the trials. It's maybe not the most comfortable feelings that you'll feel, but I think that it's important to feel these feelings that you don't like. All right. One of the things that's nice about Nuremberg is there is plenty of transit systems, transportation to get around. You can pop on a bike, rent a bike, and get around, or you can pop on the subway and pop on to a tram. And where I'm at right now, I took the number 6 tram and ended up at the very end of the line. So I'll show you this. You've probably seen pictures of this area before. It is pretty impressive in size and scope, and yeah, it's way bigger than what I imagined it inside my eyes. Like, photos really don't do it justice, but here, let's go on over here. During World War II in Nuremberg, about 90% of the buildings were damaged or destroyed. So when you walk around here and you're seeing all these buildings intact, it's pretty amazing to see them there even. But here, where I am right at this moment, this is another location of one of the rallies that Adolf Hitler had for the Nazi Party, and it's kind of historic back there. That would have had the swastika up here, and this is where he addressed the German citizens here. But it's pretty amazing. I mean, it's snowing, so I don't know how much you can see, but all the way back there it goes. Right now there's a soccer field, and I'm not sure what else over there today, but the damage of the steps and everything is pretty amazing. There's a lot of destruction that's here that hasn't been upkept, and it's snowing pretty hard, so I'm kind of walking on ice, so hopefully I don't bust my behind as I'm walking over here. But yeah, it's maybe not the prettiest history to discuss, or for a travel vlog to kind of go into these gruesome details of the horror that was World War II here in Germany. But when you're in Germany, you kind of have to talk about these type of things to have a real discussion. But we'll go ahead and go over to the museum and check it out. And yeah. All right, so I am inside the Coliseum here. This is where the rallies were taking place that you'd see the on the videos from the 40s, 30s, and like it's a very impressive area here to see. There's a lot of it's been dismantled. They do have some other stuff that goes on here to, justify keeping the place here. So like they do music venue here every year, Rock in the Park, I think is what it's called. But yeah, like looking at this is the Congress Hall is very, very impressive. Yeah, like you see those videos, and it really doesn't give you the idea and scope of how imposing that this area is. So when they're having these rallies, having all these people here, so it's like you feel like we're one with everybody else, and it's pretty intimidating to be in here in this and to kind of see and feel things instead of just being a outsider looking in. It's kind of really feeling like you are inside of it and like kind of taking yourself back, 75 years. And like, well, how could somebody be involved with such evil? But being around a bunch of other people and going with the power that's around, it's intimidating. I can understand. It doesn't mean that it's right, but I can understand the reasoning behind it. There's a lot of poverty that was going on to get some food in your stomach. The will to survive is difficult, and don't want to repeat these things in history. The lessons that are here. I know that this is not the most uplifting travel video type of a thing, but sometimes you got to talk about real life sometimes, and this is just real life. I don't really want to talk a whole lot about politics on this channel because we all get divided whenever we start talking politics, but talk about history that are associated with these areas and travel I think is important because there's things that we can learn and have conversations with people. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. I'm sure that there's not going to be a whole lot of thumbs up because it's going to be kind of a blah type of video. But if you made it through this far, you're a trooper. You're a super fan. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And until then, I'll catch you on the next one. Danke.